Right, this thing's defeated me, and I'm just well and truly pissed off with it. So, I repainted the arches yesterday, and it's a shame because I did a really nice job. It's lovely. All paint there, white and red. Obviously you don't see the inside, so I didn't bother. Now, I don't understand paint. In fact, right now I fucking hate it. I'm sorry for swearing like this, but it's just pissed me off. That red is the same as this red. No, it ain't. But that's from the same can, believe it or not. So it's as if every time I spray something out of the same can, that can goes, "Ooh, I wonder what colour I'll be this time. I don't know, I'll be radioactive red. I'll be luminous red. I'll be dark red. I'll be whatever." I'm just bored of it. It makes no fucking sense. You know? And it's just irritating. So, yeah, last night I threw the truck together quickly, and I can't live with that. That's just, it's just not right. It just sticks out weird, you know? And a friend of mine said you need to take the bumper off and paint the bumper because those two, the bumper and the arches, touch, and that just looked horrific. The bumper needed repainting anyway because if I'll show you it here. I just that's the bumper, and underneath it's been scraped to heck anyway because it's been used a lot, and also along here. I was never able to take this metal piece, there's a metal plate that goes there, I was never able to take it off because they have the world's smallest bolts, so I drilled them out last night. I still need to drill, there's a stub in there. See, there's supposed to be a hole there, but there's a stub, I need to drill that out. So this needed repainting anyway. I'm not going to touch the white lens clusters because they're fine. So this needs to be stripped and painted. I might try and save a number plate, but that might not be doable. Be nice if I could because I really like it. But yeah, that needed repainting anyway. And then I was sat there last night. This pissed me off beyond belief. So I was thinking, what do I do? What do I do here? Because I can't keep just repainting parts. I need to repaint the whole thing. But the truck's always had a two-tone red. It's always had a bright red on the cab and the bonnet and a dark red on the frame. I don't want to touch the cab and the bonnet because they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. So I thought, let's just concentrate on the lower section, not the wheels because they're fine. But the rear arches, the rear bumper, the front arch, the front bumper and the lower grille. All that needs to be the same dark-ish red. So I found a nice dark red online. It's completely different from the ones I've been using. I've put all the reds I currently have in a bag and just put them out of the way. Just put them to one side. I don't want to look at them again. I don't want to throw them away because I spent a lot of money and I might need them in the future. But for this truck, no, gone, out of the way. Ugh. Stupid. I've ordered a new type of red, a dark red, sort of like that, and I've ordered 4 cans of it. So it should all be the same. I mean, if not, I don't know. I just don't even talk to me about that. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find out a way to strip the paint off of these as best as possible. I've heard oven cleaner. If you submerge the parts in oven cleaner, it comes off. I've never done that before. But I want something that you put them in, and then after a while you take them out and rinse them off, and then all the paint comes off. That'd be lovely. Otherwise, I've got to spend money on new bits. I've got a new bumper and a new lower grille from the Hercules kit, which I can use. The arch, I wanted to get Hercules arches because this marker light in here is already cut out. But that's a lot of money to spend on an arch because I can't seem to find the arch with the lenses and the bracket, which is a shame. And the arches on their own are like £20 plus postage, and that'd be a lot. So you can get just a conversion, which is just the light, which you can put in a standard Tamiya arch like this one, and that's, how much is it? That's £10. So I might do that, and then I'll drill this out because I think if I'm going to do this, I might as well add that light. It's always annoyed me slightly that it wasn't there. But I got to take the poles off, which is relatively straightforward. 2 bolts. Take the steps off carefully, they're glued on. Take that off. Again, I don't know actually, because I think that's stuck to... Oh, it's stuck to this bit. But you can see even here, look, I got overspray on it. So I just put a piece of electrical tape over it. That needs to be redone. So in a way I'm doing a good thing, because there's a lot of shortcuts that I made with this truck. And the truck deserves it. It's my flagship. It's my pride and joy. I love this bloody thing. Anyone who knows me in real life knows that when I go to a meeting or a show, I just drive this around non-stop because I'm so fucking proud of it. But at the same time, it's royally pissing me off right now, to the point where I might as well rebuild everything that you see here. Again, I'm not touching the cab. There's nothing wrong with it. But this is just well and truly... it's just annoyed me. But I think I'm doing the right thing. So I'm going to repaint everything you see here. The other thing I was thinking about is getting a new chassis cover made that goes to full length, because as you know, this truck's always had these, which are the steps that came with the T-cab kit, and they go there, obviously, and then the infill goes between these and that. But on a real T-cab, that if you're going to do an infill, it will go the entire length from rear arch or middle arch to front arch, and the steps would be cut into it, so they'd have basically rectangles cut out, and then I'll make a box that goes on the back. So I was thinking I might ask the guy who makes the chassis and fills and the stacks, you know who I'm talking about, but I ain't got his permission to say his name, but ask for a quote, see how much one of those would cost, and if it's under a reasonable price, I imagine it'd be about 50 quid, I imagine, but if it's around that, I'll buy it, polish it up again, because I quite like the polished look. I think it's different. I mean, I'll polish it, if it doesn't look right, I'll paint it, but for now, if I can buy it, I'll polish it up, and then I'll put my underglow under that, the full width, and then I'll make the step boxes and put a little white light or a little red light inside that box. I think that will look quite nice. And then get marker lights made. I know who makes them. And the handles, these things, because that infill there is made for a standard R series. That's why the front arches, because that's where the front arch is supposed to go. But when I first got this truck, I bought a huge job lot of bits, and that infill came with it, and I had no money left, so I couldn't afford to. I mean, yeah, in hindsight, I should have just sold that one and bought a proper T-cap one, but I wasn't thinking. I just wanted to get on with the build. But yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. And then take these arches off, sort that overspray out on that bit. The bumper and the grille, take all the lights off of it, which is a shit ton of work. I've got a new bumper and a new grille anyway, so I can just prime them, strip the paint off of these arches somehow. I'm going to find out how in a minute. These do the same thing, strip the paint off. Also, they never fit properly, so that one sits too far wide and the other one sits too far back, because when I made the frame, there's holes on top of the frame that you drill and tap, and I put them in a slightly wrong position, so I could pretty much redo that. Oh, fucking hell, if I'm going that far, I should really remake the chassis. I don't know about that, but well, I'll try and correct the positioning of those. I might end up taking all the electrics off and then just putting them somewhere because they're in the way. But yeah, this is turning into a much bigger build than I was expecting. But on the other hand, it deserves all these little things sorted out. I was hoping to have it back on the road. I was hoping to have it functional again next weekend for the West Country RC Truckers meet, but that ain't gonna happen. So, and I'm not gonna rush it just to get it there. I might as well take my time and rebuild it. The only issue I've got now is that I'll start a new job next week, and I've got a feeling that I'm not gonna have a lot of spare time. So this might be a project through the winter and spring, and then it could be back on the road again. I keep saying on the road. It's a truck. It's an RC truck. It's not a real one. It could be back on the RC meat road. Or scaled road, or whatever you want to say. It could be functional again next year. It's just... This thing is well and truly annoying me. But yeah. It's just, that's what it is. I hate that saying, it is what it is, but it is. This thing deserves to be done right though, so I think I am doing the right thing. It's just a shit ton of work. But I'll find out how to strip the paint. I'll get the arches stripped, rear and the front one. I'll buy that kit and I'll get those little lights put in there. And then I'll reposition this. I'll probably end up taking all the electrics off and putting them away somewhere, just so I've got more room to work. And then I'll get the new bumper, new grille primed. If I can get the paint off the arches, I'll get them primed. And then I'll wait for a nice day, and I'm going to paint everything in the same day. So one day on the weekend, maybe in a week, maybe in 3 weeks, after I've got everything stripped and primed, and it's a nice weather day, I am going from the rear bumper all the way to the front bumper. Everything is going to be painted on the same day in the same paint. If that don't match, then I haven't got the patience or the understanding of what I will do. I'll probably end up just throwing it in a box and leaving it there for 10 years because it would piss me off too much. But in my head, if you use the same can and the same day and the same weather at the same whatever, if you had the same thing for breakfast, then it should be the same colour. So yeah, that's the plan. It just deserves to be done right, and I will eventually. I was just hoping I'd have it back on the road. Again, I said back on the road. I was hoping to have it back on the scale road next week, but no, not going to happen. I'm going to film another video now of another truck, which is going much better, so that might make me feel better. But anyway, as I say, I'll upload this video and I'll upload the other one just afterwards. So yeah, I'll see you on that one. But I'm going to do this right. I'm going to get a quote for an infill, full size, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I'll get there eventually. This hobby can sometimes bite you in the ass. What can you say? See you in the next one.